This part of South London is home to people from all over the world. Afghans sell fruit and vegetables to Eastern Europeans and Africans who rub along perfectly happily with British people who have lived here for generations. You might assume this multicultural pocket of the capital is entirely against a Brexit often portrayed as a defence of white Britain, but not so. At this Nigerian restaurant there is a quiet satisfaction at the prospect of the UK cutting its ties with Europe and starting to pay more attention to its historical friends in the Commonwealth.
Beef.
Yes.
They struggle for the right to stay in the UK while EU citizens don't, and they think it isn't fair. So most of them voted leave.
Before I became a British citizen, having had the right to live in the United Kingdom, I have to go and swear allegiance to the Queen, change my nationality to become a British, pay a lot of money. But when people come from Europe, they come into the country, 2 days they are in the system, they don't need to go and change their nationality. And then because their country is part of Europe, they have trade and everything. And I in particular, I feel cheated. I feel jealous about that.
Average African like I am, African British, will gladly vote for Brexit because I know, not because I have anything against the European, but it will give us the same leverage in terms of treatment, opportunity at work.
The government has already tried to indicate its support for the Commonwealth. The Prime Minister visited both Kenya and Nigeria last May. In London, the African expatriates looked on at this enthusiastically.
Britain gained a lot from Nigeria, especially, but I'm a Nigerian, so I can only talk more of Nigeria. They benefited so much from us. They have a lot of, investments in Nigeria, and they are still cutting away money from Nigeria on a daily basis. So they have to return something back to us.
It is perhaps an open question what some hardcore Brexiters make of the support for their cause from black people. After all, some of the people on this rally in London carried white supremacist flags and hold openly racist opinions. The Nigerians in London know all this, but they aren't too bothered. Ever since the referendum nearly 2.5 years ago, polling organisations have tried as hard as they can to understand the voting intentions of almost every demographic. But for all that, the idea that people from Commonwealth countries like Nigeria might have voted in large numbers to leave the European Union is still an almost entirely untold story, and one which may have had a bigger effect on the outcome of the referendum than has previously been understood. There are, of course, economic arguments that future British trading arrangements with the Commonwealth wouldn't be anything like as lucrative for the UK as remaining in the EU. But much of Brexit is about emotion and not facts. The idea of a rebooted British Commonwealth has many supporters here. Laurence, Al Jazeera in South London.